That moment. That click inside when everything snaps into focus. The second I heard the shower turn off, I didn't even hesitate. I put my phone down, walked straight into the bedroom, pulled out 2 black trash bags, and just started packing. Not neatly, not carefully. Just throwing his things in. Clothes, shoes, his dumb headset, all of it. There wasn't even that much. He came into my life with almost nothing. I found this little box I used to keep photos in. Ones from that food truck festival where we met, a beach day last summer. I ripped them up and tossed them in with the rest. It was halfway through emptying his drawer when he walked in. Towel around his waist, dripping water and confusion. He froze. "What are you doing?" "What's going on?" His voice cracked at the edges, nervous, cautious. Like he already knew, deep down, what this was. I didn't answer right away. He tried to touch my arm, and I jerked back so fast I knocked over the lamp on my nightstand. Shade bent, bulb flickering. That's when I told him. I knew exactly what he and his parents had said about me while I was out. That I had the security footage. That I got it translated. That I knew he called me his personal housekeeper. The way his face changed, shock to denial in one breath. He scrambled. Said I must have misunderstood. That it was cultural, a joke. That I didn't get the context. And when he saw none of it was working, he snapped. He yelled, accused me of spying. Said I was violating his privacy. In my own home, on the same cameras that had been there before he ever moved in. I kept packing, quiet, focused. That made him angrier. He grabbed my wrist, hard, and yanked me away from the bags. Called me crazy, said I was overreacting. Then he went there. Said this was why women from his country were better, because they don't freak out over nothing. That was it. I tore my arm back. His nails scraped my skin and shoved him off. Told him he had 20 minutes to get dressed, grab his crap, and get out, or I'd call the police. He called me a crazy bitch. Told me I'd be nothing without him. Said I was throwing away the best thing that ever happened to me. I laughed. The best thing? A man who mocked me behind my back, contributed nothing, and treated me like a maid? I told him flat out, everything he enjoyed came from me. My apartment, my groceries, my damn Netflix account. He was a parasite, not a partner. He turned red. For a second, I thought he'd hit me, but he didn't. Just stormed into the bathroom to change. Came out dressed, still fuming, knocking over the table by the door on his way out. I didn't flinch. Just stood there while my keys and mail scattered across the floor. When he slammed the door, the neighbor across the hall poked their head out to check on me. I sat on the floor for almost an hour. My wrist was red, already bruising. That's when it hit me. How bad it had gotten. How far I'd let it go. I cried. Not out of heartbreak. Out of relief and rage. Then I got practical. Texted my friend Bridget. Gave her a rundown. She offered to come over, but I needed a minute. I gathered the rest of his stuff, a charger, a couple books, a jacket. Tossed them in another bag. Left it by the door. Called a locksmith. Paid $275 for a Sunday emergency lock change. Worth every cent. By 8 p.m., the text started. You're making a mistake. I need my stuff. Are you seriously ignoring me? Then came the guilt trip. After everything I've done for you? Please, what had he done besides take? By 10 p.m., the tone changed. I'm sorry if you misunderstood. It's a cultural thing. Can we just talk? Bridget came over with wine and takeout. I showed her the footage and the translation. She was furious. Had to physically stop herself from going to find him. We stayed up deleting pictures, untagging posts, blocking him on every platform. Monday morning, I woke up to 17 missed calls. Dozens of texts. The usual cycle. Anger, fake remorse, manipulation. I have nowhere to go. You know my situation. I blocked him everywhere. Instagram, WhatsApp, even LinkedIn. I called in sick. My wrist hurt. My chest was heavier. My boss was kind. Told me to take the day. Then, around noon, a knock at the door. I checked the peephole. Of course it was him. He knocked. Called my name. I sat silent on the couch, watching him through the peephole like I was in some twisted reverse horror movie. After 10 minutes, he left. I packed a bag and went to stay with Bridget for a few days, just in case. Now I can't stop thinking about the red flags I ignored. How he never paid for anything. The backhanded comments. The guilt tripping. The subtle, constant erosion of self-worth. And somehow I let it slide. For months. But not anymore. Not now. I think I got so wrapped up in the idea of having this charming, worldly boyfriend that I didn't want to see what was really happening. And then today, just when I thought things had finally calmed down, I got a message from Tiago's cousin, the one he's actually close to. She reached out on Instagram because she wanted to know what really happened between us. Apparently, Tiago told his whole family that I kicked him out because I was mentally unstable and jealous of his culture. His cousin wasn't buying it. She said she always thought something was off and asked me to tell her the truth. So I did. I sent her the translated transcript of what Tiago and his parents said about me. Her response? Pure disgust. She apologized for their behavior, said she didn't stand by any of it. At least one decent person in that mess. So yeah, right now I'm crashing on my friend Bridget's couch. Tiago is blocked on every possible platform. I've never had a breakup play out this dramatically before. And it's not like I miss him. What I feel is more like grief for the version of me that thought this relationship was healthy. The part of me that ignored all the red flags because I wanted so badly to believe in him. But now that it's over, I'm left wondering if I should be more worried. He knows where I work. He already showed up at my place once. Bridget thinks I should file a police report about him grabbing my wrist, just to have it on record in case anything escalates. I didn't want to overreact, but maybe she's right. Has anyone else dealt with something like this? How long before your ex finally left you alone? Did they try showing up at your job? Anyway, sorry this is long and messy. My brain's still trying to catch up with everything. First off, thank you to everyone who offered support. Your advice has been invaluable, especially the part about documenting everything and being cautious. After 3 nights on Bridget's couch, I started feeling a little more like myself. The bruises on my wrist faded. And Tiago had gone quiet. No new numbers. No new accounts trying to reach me. I thought maybe this was finally the end of it. On Saturday, I went back to my apartment. I deep cleaned everything, washed the sheets, scrubbed the bathroom, rearranged the furniture, just trying to reclaim the space and get rid of every trace of him. I even lit the sage my sister gave me last Christmas. Maybe it was a little cheesy, but it helped. Then I texted my mom and asked if I could come by for dinner. Her reply was strange. Just a flat, "Yes, we need to talk." No exclamation marks, no emojis. That's not like her at all. I tried calling, but she didn't answer. Figured maybe she was just cooking. When I got to their place, the vibe was completely off. My mom didn't hug me. My dad wouldn't even look at me. Then they dropped the bomb. Tiago had shown up at their house the day before. He just appeared on their doorstep, clean-cut and full of lies. He told them I was paranoid, unstable, that I physically attacked him. He even showed them a scratch on his face and hinted that I had done it. He played the concerned boyfriend card like it was some kind of performance. I sat at their table feeling like I'd stepped into an alternate reality. My mom was clearly conflicted. She knows me, but what he said threw her off just enough to make her question things. That's when I showed her the video and the translations. Watched her face change in real time, from doubt to shock to pure rage. My dad? He stayed quiet until he saw the part about me being a free housekeeper. Then he swore, loudly. That's when everything shifted. My parents were back on my side. But my dad couldn't let it go. He asked where Tiago worked and what time he usually finished. At the time, I didn't think much of it. We tried to have dinner after that, but he was clearly preoccupied. Around 7, he stood up, grabbed his keys, and left without saying much. My mom and I knew exactly where he was going. We spent the next 2 hours trying to call him, panicking quietly. At 9:30, he came home calm as ever, said he found Tiago after his shift and told him, firmly and clearly, to stay away from me and my family. He even quoted Tiago's own words back to him, said Tiago's face went ghost white. My dad didn't threaten violence, but he made it clear there would be consequences if anything else happened. Honestly, I was flooded with emotion, gratitude, shame, anxiety. I didn't want this to become my family's problem, but they had my back and that means everything. I stayed the night with them. The next morning, my mom brought up the idea of filing for a restraining order. Between the unannounced visits, the manipulation, the lies, she's not wrong. I'm thinking about it. If anyone's been through that process, please let me know what I should prepare for. What kind of evidence did you need? Oh, and Tiago's cousin messaged me again last night. Apparently, Tiago's mom is furious with him. She's embarrassed by what he did, and he's burning bridges fast. Got fired from his delivery job. Couch surfing, running out of options. I'm heading back to my place today. Bridget offered to stay with me, but I think I'll be okay. I've already notified my building manager, and I started therapy, had my first session yesterday morning. My therapist is amazing, and we're unpacking a lot of this already. Turns out I've got some work to do around boundaries, self-worth, and picking up on red flags sooner. Hopefully this really is the start of the end. Here's your story rewritten in your voice, keeping the tone authentic, raw, and grounded in everything you've been through so far. It flows like a journal entry, just like your therapist suggested, and stays true to the emotional truth beneath all the chaos. Tuesday, or whatever day it feels like in my nervous system, so my therapist suggested I keep a journal about everything that's happened. At first, I thought, okay, cheesy. But turns out it's not the worst idea. Writing helps. It gets the mess out of my head and onto paper. And for a few minutes, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it. We've had a couple more sessions since then. We're digging into why I tolerated so many red flags for so long and, surprise! It comes back to self-worth. Fun. Turns out when you don't fully believe you deserve better, you let a lot slide. So I'm unpacking all of that. Work's been a lifeline. My coworkers don't know the full story, but they know I went through a rough breakup. Everyone's been supportive in their own way. Casual check-ins, leaving me space. It helps. Yesterday started like any other Tuesday. Skincare, podcast, coffee run. I got to the office and dove straight into meetings. I didn't check my phone until lunch, and that's when I saw them. 3 missed calls from an unknown number and a voicemail. I stepped into the break room, played it back, and immediately felt my stomach turn to ice. It was Tiago. His voice was off, slurred, erratic. He was jumping between English and his native language, rambling about how everything was falling apart and how I owed him a conversation. I deleted the message, blocked the number, texted Bridget. She told me to alert building security. At first, it felt dramatic, but I did it anyway. I spoke with Ron and Alexis, the 2 security guards in our building. I just said, hey, my ex might try to show up. If he does, I don't want to see him. They were kind and didn't make it a big deal, which made me feel a little safer. By 4 p.m., I was convincing myself it was all in my head. Just a drunk voicemail, nothing more. Then 4:30 hit. I was in a glass conference room with my team, going over a project timeline. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught movement by reception. I looked up, and there he was, Tiago, talking fast, gesturing, clearly agitated. I told my team I needed a quick break and shot Ron a text. Then I ducked behind a column, heart pounding, watching from a distance. Tiago was getting louder. I could hear snippets. Just 5 minutes. She's being childish. I need to talk to her. Ron appeared, thank God. Calm but firm, the way only someone ex-military can be. He stepped between Tiago and the front desk, making it clear this wasn't a debate. For a moment, it looked like Tiago might back off. He took a few steps toward the exit. Then Marcus, poor, clueless, wonderfully kind Marcus, walked by and asked if I was okay. Tiago saw me. His face changed. That familiar switch flipped, charm gone, rage fully present. He shoved past Ron, eyes locked on me, yelling about how I'd ruined his life, turned everyone against him, how I was already moving on with Marcus. People started standing up. Doors opened. My entire office became an audience to my worst nightmare. Tiago screamed that I was manipulative, said I'd recorded him to destroy him, claimed I attacked him. Then, like someone flipped a different switch, he started crying. Actual tears, said he loved me, begged for another chance, pleaded, then lunged. Ron tried to hold him back, but he slipped through for a split second. Marcus stepped in front of me and Tiago swung. Missed, barely. 2 other guards showed up and got him out of there fast, dragging him toward the elevators as he kept yelling, half threats, half sobs. The last thing he said before the elevator doors closed, "I'll make you regret this. This isn't over." My boss walked over quietly and told me to take the rest of the day. She stood by my desk while I packed up and Ron walked me to my car. I felt like I was underwater the whole time. Bridget met me at my place with takeout. I told her everything, every terrifying detail. She stayed over again. I let her have my bed this time, even though I didn't sleep at all. This morning, I got a text from my boss saying HR wants to meet tomorrow. They're talking about new security protocols. Marcus checked in too, which was sweet. He didn't deserve any of that. I called the police today and finally filed a report, something I should have done weeks ago when Tiago first grabbed me. The officer was kind. Said she couldn't arrest him for the office scene alone, but she helped me start the restraining order process. Then Tiago's cousin messaged me again. Said after yesterday, he spiraled, posted a string of wild Instagram stories about betrayal and revenge. He blocked me, but Mutual screenshotted everything. His cousin is legit worried now. His parents have stepped in. They're flying him back to their home country tomorrow. One-way ticket. They told him it's this or they're done with him. I've triple-checked my locks. Bridget's staying another night. I still feel a little shaky, but also clear. Like I know I did the right thing by ending this. I just want it to be over. If he really gets on that plane tomorrow, maybe I'll finally breathe again. Thanks to anyone who's stuck with me through all this. I'll post one final update. Once I hear he's gone or if there's news about the restraining order. But hopefully, this is the last page of the Tiago chapter.